Wow, I was pausing there like crazy. I don't know if you guys were
A
too, but what a way to
little
get
bit
it going, man. It was creating my anticipation
Yeah.
by
for the
lagging. Was it
anticipation. Okay, I get it.
the countdown was
The anticipation list.
like, oh my god, I'm anticipating. What's going down, everybody, and welcome to a live special edition of Am I Still on the Air? And this time, no, it's not a spoiler review. This is our annual tradition of the top 10 movies of 2022 and the top 10 most anticipated of 2023. It is that time. We are broadcasting live for the first time in 2023, bringing the crew together. Peeps, Frigginz, everybody's here. And every year, we come together and we spend some time to reflect on the year that was and look forward to the year that is. So always a fun discussion to see how everything kind of shook out. So that's what we're here to do tonight. And once again, it is Am I on the Air? Make sure you're following on all the socials right there at Am I on the Air. You can follow me directly at DONMEGA. We got Peeps over here at For My Peoples. And of course, we have Frigginz with a Z. So what's up, guys? Welcome to the show.
Yo.
Thanks for having me. I can't wait. I always look forward to this, man. We do this one time a year. And yeah,
it's like my most anticipated part of the year is when we do the most anticipated countdowns of the last
grandma's
year.
cookies of podcasts.
It's so much fun. I mean, I love keeping track of everything through the year. And I don't know about you guys, but like when I tally like all the movies I've been watching in 2022, and I count them until we do this podcast, and like that's my cutoff. So now if I watch a 2022 movie tomorrow, it's no longer on the list. It goes until we do this podcast.
Interesting. Yeah, I do the same thing.
Sure you do.
He's still trying to catch up.
He's watching one right now off the side of the screen.
Exactly. Shut up. Hey, man. Well, you know what it is. So we're going to jump right on in. And what we like to do first is, of course, go through honorable mentions. I mean, in every year, there's a lot of movies, man. We watch a lot of film. If you're a fan of the show, obviously, as you are, and you listen every single week, we review several movies a week. So when you think about that over the course of a year, there's a lot. But there's a lot to celebrate, that maybe didn't crack the top 10, but came close and maybe resonated in a certain way that when you look back on the year, you're like, you know what? I really, really dug that movie, and I want to spend some time to shout it out and let people know, like, hey, this is something you should probably check out as well. So honorable mentions. So before we get into our top 10 of 2022, these are the honorable mentions of 2022, the films that just barely missed the cusp. Maybe could have made it in, maybe made it into one of these other guys' list. But we'll see how things kind of shook out here as we break it down. So I'm going to roll it to one of you guys. Who would like to kick us off with some honorable mentions tonight?
Peeps was talking to me earlier, and he was like, I really want to go first this time. So you know what? Your wish is going to be answered here.
Wow, you are lying, but I'll take it. I'll take it.
There you go.
So yes,
Peeps with them honorable mentions.
And a little precursor, your boy Peeps once again, and DX was saying this was kind of like it's like a reoccurring thing for you, buddy. But yes, I wasn't able. I got like 11 movies still on my plate. Like I just kind of picking at it, like kind of picking all the P's out, and it's just like I still got some stuff to get through. But of the movies that I watched, for me, the honorable mentions are number one, I would say Nope. Had a lot of fun with it. Didn't quite make it. I had a couple issues with some of the things that actually happened in it, especially towards the end. But all in all, like it was a very fun ride. Had me literally guessing throughout most of it, which when it comes to horror movies, I really like and enjoy. But like I said, the payoff just wasn't that good for me to kind of put on my top 10. But again, like not kind of talking down to it. I really enjoyed it. Also, still kind of in the horror genre is Prey. Had a lot of fun with Prey. And it's interesting. Like I know that's surprising for Frigginz because we're both 80s kids, and we love stuff like Predator, Aliens, RoboCop. Like, we love that stuff. So when they come out with a new age Predator movie, it should be on my list. But it didn't quite make it. So
you had a lot of hype for it too. Like when it came out, you were like, dude, you gotta watch this trailer. Oh my god.
Because I had no idea it was a Predator movie. Like, it was great. Like, that's why, yes. And like, that's what they do. They use the name to push the movie. And this one, it's called Prey. And when it starts, you have no idea what it's about until they so, yeah.
Until the kitty cat shows up? Was
yeah, like right? Purr action going there.
Until the shows up.
Yeah. And I'm sure these guys got some pretty good honorable mentions. But the last one I'll give is, and again, precursor. I'm a father, so I take my kids to see a lot of animated movies. And if I find that they are enjoying a movie and I am enjoying a movie, and then after the movie we're talking at each other like, that was so cool. Like, I don't know. It's just it's fun for me. And that's Sonic 2, a movie that I feel like I shouldn't like at all. I really enjoyed the first one, and I'm like, they're going to mess up the second one. And they did not mess up the second one. It was really fun. My kids just loved it. I loved it. They're so excited for what's to come next. They're still telling me all these like predictions and what could happen, and this is what I think is going to happen. And wait, there's a Mario movie coming out, right? And then Sonic. Dude, do you think that, like, it's not going to happen, son? But they are so excited about the possibility.
We don't cross those streams.
The Sonic verse and all that. So, and it's like kind of cool to introduce them to Jim Carrey. Like, they've seen him in other things. I'm like, that's the Mask dude. That's the Grinch dude. And like, no, he's not. I'm like, dude, watch, And it's, I don't know. I love Jim Carrey kind of growing up in high school, and it's, I don't know, it's kind of cool to merge that that bit of childhood. So yeah, man, Sonic 2 was a blast. And but yeah, that's all I'll give for my honorable mentions.
Well,
I agree. Sonic 2 was a good one for the fam, for sure. So I'll definitely concur on that one. We had a lot of fun with Sonic, with both those Sonic movies. More fun than we should have had, right?
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah,
definitely more fun than we should have had.
I didn't even want to watch the second one, and then I just kept hearing you guys talking about it, and I was like, okay, fine, I'll watch it. And I'm like, damn, it got me again.
Got them. Nice.
Yeah,
it's good. It's good. What you got, Fred?
Well, I have a few different. What I'll do for my honorable mentions, and just kind of briefly throw in like categorizing things. I think apart from one Oscar movie that did make my list, there's a few other Oscar movies that didn't quite make the list that I thought were worth mentioning. There's one, of course, The Whale, obviously getting a lot of buzz. There's the Will Smith's Emancipation. I don't know if that's in Oscars talk now, but he definitely is in that kind of like category of acting. Elvis, The Northman. Those were some. Oh, and another one, again, not sure if it's actually an Oscar discussions, but it's called Cha Cha Real Smooth. That was an Apple Plus release. And these kinds of films are, usually chock full of amazing acting, emotional scripts and things like that, things that I like. And I really enjoyed them, but they're not necessarily a movie I'm going to watch a bunch, have any kind of replay value. And like something like The Whale is a phenomenal film, but it doesn't feel very good watching that movie. Like you are sad after watching that movie. So that was like kind of one category I had, was some of those award category. I guess I should throw that in there. There's another movie that I have a feeling might be on someone else's list, so I'll hold off on that one.
We should have a Frigginz award show. Like, he would have like best sound,
I would
best lighting, best supporting.
This is when we're always reminded of the film snob over here.
Well, I figured I'd get that out of the way.
In my honorable mentions Oscar category, I would like to speak on. Dude, just speak your damn honorable mentions.
In my top 10, I definitely got a couple. Get the fuck out of here. So, we'll see. Sure. I also wanted to just like acknowledge that I think a lot of the MCU actually falls for me in the honorable mention section. Again, I'll kind of wait and talk about those as we go through. I have a feeling they'll be on some of those lists, but I felt a little bit of disappointment in that category. And then a surprise category was the like murder mystery twist kind of vibe stuff. We got a couple of those with Death on the Nile. We had
suspense.
Hell
See
no.
How They Run.
Death on the Nile as a honorable mention?
No. I'm just saying that's the category. Death on the Nile is way at the back of the list. That movie sucked.
Dude, you're making this way more confusing than it needs to be.
Sorry.
What's your honorable mentions?
Well, that's what I was trying to build up to.
He's all naming movies that have nothing to do with this. I'm like,
it's
come on, dude.
Mystery stuff, you know? But on my honorable mentions, I would have See How They Run and Glass Onion. Those were, you know, really fun, you know, so like, you know, the group of suspects in a closed room trying to solve the crime type of thing.
That's generally the plot for those kind of movies.
Yep, it was really fun.
Would you have a buddy cop category?
No.
Fast-paced action.
Those were a few of my honorable mentions. You know, again, I'm trying to avoid talking about a couple of them because I'm guessing they might pop up on your list. You know, like I said, especially the MCU stuff. But
if they're in your honorable mentions, speak on.
Well, you know, I will also throw in. Also, really close to the list. Originally was in the top 10 for a while, but just a few more things came through. Was Bullet Train. You know, I thought that was a really fun action flick. It was a good time. And I felt that we had a few of those kinds of films throughout the year. So maybe that's another category, but that was the one that made the honorable mentions for me.
Okay. All righty. Well, getting into my honorable mentions, I agree with you, Fred. I have The Whale. And it's mainly because of how heavy of a movie it is, right? And it kind of goes along with exactly what you said, because it's like, I don't know if I can ever sit down and watch that movie again. So it's like, it's a great movie, and I wanted to give it some love and shout it out, but I don't know, like what that replay value would be, or if I'd want to torture myself through that sadness again.
If he doesn't get the Oscar, there's no point anymore.
It sounds heavy.
Oh, dude, it's so heavy.
Yeah.
Oh, heavy. I see what you did. Damn it, Peeps.
So I do have a couple that you guys have mentioned. Like I said, so The Whale. I also have Prey on mine to go with Peeps. So I thought Prey was a really good standout, especially for being a Hulu movie. You know, sometimes we get stuck with these streaming films, and we're like, you know, why do it streaming? And this one did not fit that mold.
That would have been a good movie.
Streaming,
seriously.
Yeah, just great film. Another one I had a lot of fun with. This was also another streamer. This was a Netflix original. Was The Adam Project with Ryan Reynolds. I thought this movie was a ton of fun. Zoe Saldana, futuristic, time travel, a lot of fun. To go with Fred as well, I also have Glass Onion and Knives Out Mystery, one of my favorite films of the year as well too, that I thought was going to make the top 10 and was kind of interested to see that it fell right outside of it. And of course, these are in no particular order, just honorable mentions overall. But yeah, Glass Onion. Another one that made my honorable mention is The Menu. The Menu was an amazing film this year that just actually hit HBO Max. For anybody that hasn't seen it, check it out. It's incredible. It's awesome. I just rewatched it the other night, and it's so good.
Big surprise. I wasn't gonna watch it except for your review. Like, you talking about it really hyped it up, and I was like, all right, man, I'll give it a shot. It was good.
It's great. And it's crazy because this is a movie that when I first saw the trailer, I was like, I don't think I'm even gonna watch this movie.
Same.
Then ended up loving it. So it goes to show you sometimes you never know.
Well, in your another review, one that came. Oh, sorry. I want to give you some shout outs, Don, because like I literally only watched that movie because of you. And really, you could break it down to really one thing is when you were saying about Nicholas Holt's character, and like you were talking about, you know, how awkward he was, and you're like, I don't even know what the hell. And that intrigued me enough to be like, what is he talking about? And as I'm watching, I was like, he was so right. Sorry.
He's so crazy in that movie. Yeah. So another one that stood out to me this year that was a real big pleasant surprise was Clerks 3. I loved Clerks 3. This one also very closely made my top 10. An emotional roller coaster of a movie that I did not expect in a million years of it to take me on the emotional roller coaster that it did, from laughs to tears to just the realism of the story. It was just incredible. Incredible movie about friendship. And then I have Ambulance. the Michael Bay movie with Jake Gyllenhaal and Yahya Abdul-Mateen II. This movie was just an awesome adrenaline-fueled action ride that was just really, really fun. So loved Ambulance. And then my last honorable mention is Elvis. Elvis, I was right there at number 10, man, and just really stood out. I love biopics, and I just thought Austin Butler really just came off the scene hard in this movie. Really solidified himself as Elvis and just told an amazing story, man. Tom Hanks just incredible role in this as well. And so yeah, it really, really stands out to me when you look back on the year. So I know he just won the Golden Globe as well for Best Actor for Elvis Presley. So great, great stuff there. So that's what I got. Honorable mentions: The Whale, Prey, Adam Project, The Menu, Glass Onion, Clerks 3, Ambulance, and Elvis.
That's a good list.
Which ones of those peeps are you going to watch? You going to watch any of those that you haven't seen?
I definitely want to see the Menu and The Whale. Both of those are on my list. I got some funky like avant-garde movies on my list, so I have no idea what to expect. I haven't even heard of any of these movies, but I'm like, I have to watch them. The Quiet Girl, what is that about? I don't know. We'll see.
All right, guys. Well, we will Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Fred.
I was just gonna, in order to not make you feel completely left out, I do feel like there was a couple flicks that I missed that I would like to still see. For example, the movie X. That was one that I see on everybody's list. So I'm
and Pearl, because they both came out the same year, right?
Yeah, they both did.
I couldn't stand X, and I rewatched it too just to see, and I was like, "God, this thing fucking sucks." I just don't
it's not
get
so many people's list. So.
It's horrible. I don't know why. It's so bad.
Yeah.
It's so bad. And you're not even a big horror guy. Like you're not gonna like fucking X.
Okay,
at all.
Well that's good. Well, now I feel less
over
bad.
the top horror.
I think I might.
Anyway,
maybe. All right, so we will transition to our top 10 of 2022. The way we're going to run it down is we will break down each of our 10 through 2 and discuss, the reasons why it made the list, why it resonated with us, why it's there, and of course, the floor is open and we could, jump in anywhere we see fit as we do that. So I'll throw it on over to Peeps. We'll go in the same kind of sequence here, and
was Rocky on your list somehow?
I just know. I heard I was getting all hype, like I see DX like walking up the stairs and just kind of like throwing some fists as he's like saying that.
Here we go.
We're getting hype. No, but yeah.
So all right, Peeps, take us on the journey.
Hey, I'm embarrassed by my list, just so you guys know. Y'all are mentioning y'all honorable mentions. I'm like, fuck, that's my number one. God damn. No. But yeah, so and we are going to give a little bips and boops, right, about these lists, right? But I'm not going to go into too much detail, but so number 10 for me is a list I know that is not on your guys' list, and I don't expect it to be. It is on my list because mostly nostalgia. I love this series. I have a lot of it behind me. And when it came out, it gave me the feels. I got re-excited as I did when I was a kid. A lot of issues with things that shoulda, coulda, woulda happened, but like when it comes to anime, you can't do that anymore, really. Like it goes so far left that it's like, why are you're trying to put some adult in this thing, and just shut your brain off and have fun. And that's Dragon Ball Superhero. Huge Dragon Ball fan. Had a blast with this movie. If you are a Dragon Ball fan and you haven't seen this and you just kind of like, I don't know, I definitely recommend it. Frigginz, don't even think about it. One day I'll sit you down and I'll give you some cliff notes. I'll have a whole PowerPoint presentation on why this moment is important. We'll get there, but I had a blast with this movie. So that is my number 10, Dragon Ball Superhero. Number 9. No, I know. We're good.
I got nothing on that one. Yeah, that's all you.
We're good. Number 9. Kind of going into my honorable mentions. When it comes to family, kind of coming together, me and the kiddos going to see a movie. We see it. We're cracking up in the movie. They're looking at me in the movie like, oh my God. I'm like, right. And they're just like, we're getting so excited and just having a good time. And like this movie was so good. Like I bought it on the digitals just so we can watch it again at home. I spent the $30 to buy it on digital because it did that like almost immediate when it hit theaters that you could just buy it on digital. So I just bought it immediately so that we could just watch it from home again. This movie, man, was a movie I wasn't even anticipating. And I'll stop the whole talk about the movie and then mention it at the end. But that is Puss in Boots and The Last Wish. This freaking movie, man. And I told Frigginz, I'm like, Frigginz, I know you don't like animated movies. Watch this damn movie though. Like, it was so dope. There's a character in it, this freaking wolf, that I'm just like, I love this guy. Like,
so cool.
Did you watch it?
So like I was giving Don some shout outs, I'm giving you shout outs now because I only watched this movie because you suggested it. That wolf is like one of the coolest characters I've ever seen. He was good. But the art in it is just absolutely fantastic. It's amazing.
Yes. I love the art, the humor. There's this character that I don't know. It's not really getting into spoilers, so I don't want to do that too much. Y'all need to watch it. But I love this movie for multiple reasons, and it has like 3 antagonists. You know, there's 3 bad guys in the movie. They all have their own reasons for being bad guys. Some may or may not turn good. Some just stay bad. And it was like a weird dynamic, I guess. It wasn't just your cliche hero and villain. Like, there's so much going on, and it all makes so much sense. And man, it was good. And it had a nice little ending. And then it's kind of like that open ending. Like, they could do more if they want, or they could just leave it alone. But yeah, that probably make some more. But yeah, man, like the whole time my kids are just talking to me, just like, oh, this is so dope. And I'm like, it's so dope. And yeah, man, it's really good. It's really good. Had a lot of fun with this movie. So love the Puss in Boots. That's my number 9. Number
Solid
8.
film.
Yeah, I thought it was gonna be your number 1 actually.
Yeah.
Oh wow, jeez. Let's calm down now.
Number 8, Thor: Love and Thunder. I didn't think this was going to make my list, but it did because
you didn't watch enough movies.
Stop it, Fred. Don't make me kick you out.
Very possible, Frigginz. You could say that probably about my next probably 3. But I don't know, man. Like at the end, I knew what I was getting into after watching Ragnarok. I knew what I was getting into. The way that a lot of people feel about this movie is how I felt about Ragnarok. So having been disappointed from Ragnarok, I'm kind of coming in like expecting this. And everyone's like, oh, wow, it's all over the place. It's too much humor. And why would he do that when this serious things happen? The same thing happened in Ragnarok. Why is anybody shocked about this? I won't get it. A lot of people hate the goats. I'm sorry. I love the goats. I'm going to say it. And I said it. I love the goats.
Yes.
There's a lot of dumb stuff in it. A lot of stuff that I'm like, why are they even doing this? But again, I know this mad genius director, and I expected it. So I had a lot of fun with it. So Thor: Love and Thunder. It's a thing.
Yes.
Number 7, probably shocking, Avatar 2.
Okay.
We talked about this recently. Love the movie, love the visuals. I'm kind of thinking like, is visuals enough for me to say this movie is better than the other movies on my list? That I like those movies not only for their visuals, but also for their story and for other things that this movie didn't really give me. Like I said, it gave me the feels on some moments, but it didn't blow me away with their story. And they're just kind of creating a step for this bigger thing that's going to happen next time when the firebenders come. So yeah, it was fantastic, and it probably should be higher on my list. It's a fantastic movie. It's doing amazing. I completely get it. I agree, and I feel you, and I understand. But I don't know, man. These other movies, when I left the theater with these other movies, the Googles. So I loved it. I'll let you guys talk about that one, I'm sure, later.
I want to talk about this one, and I know, Don, I have a suspicion you may want to hold off and talk about that one later. But like, I want to mention that I actually kind of agree with you. It's not exactly in the same spot on my list as yours, but the fact that I didn't have it higher than I originally thought it would be based on the previous watching the first one, right? Like I agree with you. The visuals in this thing are absolutely phenomenal. We did this awesome, 2+ hour long breakdown of it, also on Red Dragons Radio, by the way.
Yeah.
But like
that everybody gave 5 stars to. So
yes.
Yeah.
Just saying.
But at the same time, like when I saw that first one, I saw that thing like 7 times in the theaters, and this one I was good with 1, and I don't even know if I will watch it again except for right before the next one comes out to jog my memory.
This movie is only like you'll only get that same feeling if you watch it in 3D. I've watched it twice. I've watched it total 3 times. The other 2 times was in non 3D, and I'm just like, this movie's good. But like that 3D experience, man, that's where it was at. And it just kind of, that's why it's not as high, because if I don't have that 3D experience by sitting in there with this giant surround sound, with this giant screen, am I going to enjoy this movie as much as I like the next movie on my list? Like, probably not if I watch them back to back. So yeah, that's number 7. So number 6, speaking of which, is a movie I think we've all talked about and we all really like, and I think it made Frigginz honorable. No, it didn't, but that's Gray Man. Didn't expect to like this movie. I've got a non-realistic issue with Ryan Gosling and his RBF. Like, he is the same, he's literally the same character. He was the dude from Blade Runner in this movie. He's the same guy in every movie, but like, this movie was so good. I know we talk about the practical effects and how much we love Chris Evans' character, just the sassy bad guy.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. Like, my son has recently been getting into action movies, and like this is a movie. Like, I'll be like, check this out. And I guarantee this would like stay in his mind. It will like set that bar for other action movies that he sees going forward. It's like a lost gem type of movie that we just don't see anymore. I know, DX, you got your fast movies. I don't know how practical all those are anymore now that they're in space, but they're going to be breaking dimensions, I'm sure, in 10, but we'll see what happens there. But yeah, man, great man, hella dope. Just again, practical effects. I can't give studios enough credit for doing that. I want them to know how much I appreciate that stuff so they can continue it. And I don't want everything to fall under CGI. Like, I love it. Thank you, and keep it going.
There's a lot of CGI in this movie.
I know, but like,
the worst parts of the movie are the CGI scenes. Everything else is like badass, right? Like, that's like the biggest complaints of the film, I would say, would be those moments where there's like over CGI.
Just like, I'm sure there's a lot of like CGI in John Wick, like with explosions and people dying and blood spurts and stuff like that. Like, I'm sure that's a thing, but like the action is like really dope.
So dope.
Yeah.
I'll talk about it a little bit later.
Next is one that Frigginz put on his honorables, is Bullet Train. Same reason as Gray Man. I love the action, the story. It felt like what is his name? He did Snatch, the Guy Ritchie kind of deal.
Yeah. Okay.
It just, like, I didn't really know what was going on the whole time, and I'm thinking this guy might be this guy, but maybe this guy's the other guy. But the lady, what's she up to? And hey, I think I remember there's another guy. Hey, there's a stuffed animal guy walking around. That's not a guy. I don't know. It was so much fun. I love this movie a lot. I really wanted to do a review on it, and I'm just the worst. So maybe one day I'll get it. Another movie I showed my son, and he's like, dude, this is real dope, Dad. I'm liking this. You like his head exploded, right? I'm like, yeah, that's cool.
I like how they mixed a lot of comedy into it as well. Like, it had like funny moments, and then a surprise, like sad moments. Like, it's towards the end, I was really not expecting that. But that mixture of, like you said, like, you got like the 2 buddy cop kind of aspect. You got the samurai mafia dude. You got the anime, in a suit thing that juxtaposition of different genres all thrown in together in one little train. Like that. Yeah, that was really
there's so many characters. Freaking Tangerine and Lemon. Like,
yes,
I love them. Like, every character in that movie had like moments to shine, and I love them all for their own. It was so good. Such a great like combination. Like, it was a good casserole, I guess. I don't know.
Yes.
Love Bullet Train. Try to speed up here, y'all. Number 4 is Glass Onion. Met both of your guys' honorable mentions. Man, I love what's his
Daniel
Blanc?
Craig?
No, the character
Benoit Blanc.
Benoit Blanc.
Benoit
Man.
Blanc.
He is such a great character. Like, I love his character. Like, he could just be in anything. I don't like. I want a Benoit Blanc universe now. Like let's keep this going.
You
I don't
got
know
it.
that other guy from the Nile. You know, the dude from the Nile. Whatever. I don't care about his
Yeah.
stupid mustache. No, it's a good mustache. Man, I really enjoy this movie, and then the little twist that they don't wait until the end to give you. Sorry, I don't want to spoil that for really anybody, but you know, like these movies, you're kind of waiting for the twist, and I think this movie it was almost as if it was like a twist of a twist that they weren't just waiting for the end to just flip everything over on its side, where it was just like kind of like, oh, okay, well, this is like halfway through the movie. What are they going to do for the rest of the movie? Like, I feel like I already got the twist, and it's still just the movie setting itself up. It was really well done. Again, talk about cast of characters, and I enjoy them all. And this movie does a great job of making you suspect people right off the bat. You know, you'll see two people talking on the side, rubber. You're like, oh, that's the dude. But then, like a little bit later, they'll be like, rubber. Oh, no, that's the dude. I don't know. It did a good job and meeting Frigginz. What'd you call it? Murder mystery on the Nile.
Yeah, no, that one was at the back of the line. I'm telling you, like after watching like Glass Onion and See How They Run, they're all the exact same movie. There's the one super smart detective and all the suspects in the room. Like, See How You Run was great. Glass Onion, though, like takes it to the next level. Love Knives Out, of course, and then just don't bother with the Nile. Like, it's
funny. I remember like watching the Nile, but I couldn't tell you anything about it.
Okay.
So
you're better off.
But I mean, again, all that, like, it had a really good cast. Everybody was great in their own way, except for like the scientist guy. Like, he was just, I couldn't really get like, is he bad? Is he good? Like, I didn't really get his character, but really enjoyed this movie. A lot of fun. And also, it kind of sucks, right? Like, kind of the later movies that kind of stick in my head a lot more than the ones I've seen earlier, but yeah, whatever. So Glass Onion, my number 4. Number 3, Doctor Strange, Multiverse of Madness. Man, saw this movie multiple times in the theater. It is in the Marvel stuff that I love, that I like. It showed us Wanda in a very, very interesting, amazing form. And again, talk about a group of characters kind of coming together. I really loved what they did with Sam Raimi, like giving the movie that Sam Raimi vibe. With also, like, it still feels like it fits within the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Lots of great effects, and I'm thinking, like, even like some of the things like America Chavez's star creation, like that's something they could never make in a TV show. And it sucks. I'm like, I kind of want an America Chavez, like, I'm Now a Wizard TV show or something like that. But it's like they could never recreate the amazing impact that it is that when she creates that alternate dimension. Like, it's so good. Man, I had a lot of fun with this movie. I still see stuff to this day pop up on the Twitters about the scene, you know, in Multiverse of Madness should have been this scene, and this is an alternate thing. Like, but like I don't know, like those sites are still throwing out bits and boops for people to click on with this. I don't see anything about Thor: Love and Thunder anymore. It's still Multiverse of Madness that I don't know. So yeah, a lot of fun with this one. And my final movie, number 2, is The Batman. A movie that I didn't want to watch. I was going to watch because it had a character in it that I liked as a kid. Fine, Frigginz, I'll go. I'll go watch this again. This is like, what, the 4th version of them in my lifetime.
In your lifetime.
It wasn't expecting to enjoy this movie as much as I did, but dude, this movie, man, it I don't know, man. I really dug it. You know, the vibe that they gave us with him. I know a lot of people don't like this version of Bruce Wayne. I do. I think it fits with that character. Like, tragic thing happens to people, so they're not going to be the most happy go lucky type of person, and especially like if they don't have to worry about working or money, they're just going to like, yeah, fuck her, I hate the world. But yeah, man, great villain, great twist, great everything. There was literally nothing I did not like about this movie. I think when we talked about it and I did my nitpicks, I was like there's a scene where there's a pencil and it said a number 4 pencil. What's that all about? Like, I don't know, just making stuff up. But there's really nothing I could think of that I don't like about this movie. It was, I guess, the only thing is like he's not comic book Batman, and I want comic book Batman, but it was still a good Batman movie. So yeah, I dig it. The Batman is my number dose.
All right, there you go. 10 through 2 for the peeps. Breaking it down there. So Frigginz, what you got, man? Be interested to see how this lines up.
Oh man, I gotta tell you, there's at least one, if not more. Get the fuck out of here is on my top 10 for you.
They're all black and white.
This is gonna be fun.
Yep. Here we go.
But I think we're all right on
the Western Front. Get the fuck out of here.
That would fall into the like award category. That movie was phenomenal, but again, didn't feel very good after.
Got a category for that one.
Yeah.
See,
so
it's in my award category.
Under the category of my number 10 spot.
Number 10.
On my list, I have The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. Nick Cage playing Nick Cage, doing Nick Cage stuff. It was amazing, and it was so much fun. I didn't expect it to be as funny as it ended up being. I think the pairing of Nick Cage and Pedro Pascal was an absolute perfect decision, something that I never would have guessed would work so well. There's so many wonderful scenes there, and having Pedro be a Nick Cage fan and being able to revisit some of the old Nick Cage stuff from his peak, I guess you might say, it was really enjoyable. Brought back a lot of those nostalgic feelings of all the fun Nick Cage things that I loved growing up. It's absolute blast, well worth a watch. You should definitely check this one out, peeps. I'm sure it's on your list somewhere, but
it's not actually. I have heard some good things, but then okay.
Oh yeah, but anyway,
I haven't seen anybody say anything negative about this movie.
It's so much fun.
So good.
It's so good.
It's so good.
So if you just want to have a good time, check out The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. The hardest part about that movie is the title. I just call it Massive Talent. So number 9 is one of the Oscar category films that actually did make my list this year. And that is The Fabelmans. Don recently did a Quick Bites, and I heard you talk about like, well, no one I've talked to really thought it was all that great. And I was like, oh, you did talk to me about it. Like, It's so good. Steven Spielberg doing Steven Spielberg things. It's almost a autobiography. Kind of like what you get is he's telling a little bit of his life experience. I like it because you jump into a story and it's just, here's a couple moments of his life. And it's not exactly an autobiography, so I say that with the assumptions that that a lot of it is based on what he's gone through. But it covered topics I wasn't expecting at all, and the acting was amazing. There was just I was just hooked into finding out what was going to happen next, and it's not action or anything crazy like that. It was just very much this moment of their lives in a couple different eras, and it was just interesting to see how that developed. So well done, amazing cinematography. There's an amazing quote, which I won't say here on the show because I don't want to like ruin the it's kind of like towards the end, so I don't want to ruin it for anybody that's going to watch it, but I found it hilarious, and it just really stuck with me. So definitely worth the Oscar nominations that it's getting, or award nominations, I should say.
He got like best director for that one, didn't he?
Yeah, for the Globes, yeah.
Golden Globes.
Yeah. And I think is well deserved. I mean, I thought it was
They just gave it to him because he's Steven Spielberg.
right.
Yeah,
That's the other
no.
thing.
They're like, this movie doesn't quite live up to his hype, but
It's
it is Steven Spielberg. So
I
just give
disagree.
it to
I
him.
thought it was hype as hell. It was awesome. But that's my number 9. My number 8 is one that Peeps had brought up there. Give me a good old action flick. And you know, typically I'm happy. Like that is something I grew up with, and The Gray Man delivered on that. I think part of the reason it's so high on my list and being at number 8 is because of the fact that we 3 actually watched it in theater. And that experience like totally had an impact. I think that if I had only watched it at home on Netflix, which I actually did today, I rewatched it earlier this morning. But if I had only watched it, I do think this would have been lower. But there was something about seeing it in an XD screen, right? It was so much fun.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, I think if it was just a straight at home movie, I don't know if it'd be in the top 10.
I'm the same. And I'm sad that it wasn't released wide like that to well, you know, as I mean, it was to everyone. If you went on that one night or one weekend, it was there. But anyway, I digress. My number 7, Peeps, you mentioned this one as well. Don, you talked about it too, but it did make my top 10. That is Prey. Peeps and I were in San Diego for San Diego Comic-Con, and we saw at a theater they had a screening of Prey, and I regret that we didn't go and watch it that night. Like the show, watching it at home, I just kept thinking like, God, I wish I was watching this in the theater. Prey was so cool. I love seeing this, like, you know, older time frame Predator coming to Earth at an older time period, fighting, and the actress, and I don't have her name up right now, but she was phenomenal.
Indian Aubrey Plaza.
Wow.
Pretty much.
Her name is Amber Midthunder. I just looked it up.
Cool.
She was amazing in this role. I want to see her in more things. Please give us more Amber. She was really cool. I love the green, like across the face, the look of everything. And I especially loved that it was a surprise. You know, Peeps, we talked about how, like, you know, it wasn't marketed as a Predator thing. It had a different name. And so when that trailer come out, it was like, say what? And you don't get that very much anymore. We know things, you know, 5 years in advance most of the time. So that was really fun. And I think it brought it to another level for me.
We have a cool little photo thing that you did there, right? Where you were pushing me into the Predator.
Yeah. When we were at San Diego Con, they had like a photo section where they had like photographers taking photos of you. And it had like a little like motion thing, and it was like smoke, and it was like in the woods, and we took a picture where I was shoving him towards the Predator as I was like running away. It was pretty funny.
Check out Frigginz.
Yeah, it's on my Instagram or Twitter or somewhere. I did post it, but maybe I'll repost. That brings me to my number 6. Oh boy, number 6.
You sound a little stressed about it. Okay.
I actually watched this one twice. One of which was trying to get Sean to watch this, and like we watched half of it one night, and the next night we were watching the other half.
Probably, if I finished it, man, it probably would have made my list. It was. I know what you're saying.
I really wanted you to finish it, but that is RRR. Holy crap! There it is. RRR. It was an utter joy to watch. Like
the best bromance.
I was gonna try to give this movie a chance, and then I saw it was over 3 hours long, and I was like, "Oh fuck!"
Oh, but you'll spend like 6 hours watching Justice League.
Yeah, exactly.
Hey, 4. All right.
You can break it in chunks. It actually has like there's a wedding right at the middle.
Yeah,
there's a wedding right at the middle. That's a perfect stopping point. So you
there's
watch
even
it to
chapters
the
though. Doesn't it like go like R and then it's like fire?
Yeah,
like
but they're not split like too evenly. The RRR gets explained relatively quickly, but just watch it halfway. The wedding's at like hour and a half. So you do like an hour and a half, and then you do another hour and a half.
Yeah,
It's
wait till the
worth it.
dance number.
Oh my god, yeah, that's the wedding, the dance number. Yeah, maybe it's not a wedding, maybe it's a party, whatever. The dance number.
Yeah.
So much fun.
Really
Some of the most ridiculous things you'll ever see in an action movie. Like there are so many things that any other movie I would have been like, this is so stupid, but it works so well.
But because it's Indian, Fred's like, this is great.
It was though. Like I don't know why it works.
He's like, Indian with subtitles? Yes.
It works.
American movie with the same shit. This is so fucking over the top.
Stupid. Yeah.
I can't believe this CGI, this fucking CGI fest.
No.
Yes. There's something about the bromance was fun. The action was so over the top fun.
Did they like throw a tiger at somebody?
They throw all kinds of animals at people. They throw motorcycles at people. They have like a guy riding the other guy's shoulders, fighting together, and it's the dumbest thing you've ever seen, but it's perfect.
The best thing you've ever seen.
Yeah. Absolutely worth watching. If you haven't watched this movie and you're listening to this show, just break it into, I know the long time frame is like, no, just break it into chunks. Get to the dance number.
Just go through it.
And then
don't fall asleep. Don't fall asleep.
Take a break.
You'll regret it.
Oh my god, so much fun. That's my number 6. 6. All right, here's the one I thought Don was gonna give me another head shake at. My number 5. This was actually like way high for a while. It's just it took a while for some other movies to come out, but my number 5 is Y Como Es Él.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
More subtitles. More subtitles. Y Como Es Él is it's a Spanish
really
bromance. Maybe this is the year of the bromance, like it's in this 2022. I'll give you a quick breakdown, no spoilers. This is all covered in the beginning. One guy finds out his wife is cheating on him. So he goes to find the guy that's cheating on him, and he's this dude that's like a taxi driver, and then he accidentally gets like in his taxi, and they're like going together, and they go on like a road trip, and they kind of end up becoming friends along the way, and it's hilarious. It was really funny. I remember seeing this trailer like years ago. I think it got delayed because of the pandemic or something, but when the trailer came on, and I was seeing it being promoted as, at first I thought it was like a rom-com, but like reading the subtitles, I was like, how am I going to laugh at this? And then I found in the trailer, I was like laughing my ass off just from reading, all these jokes and stuff through the subtitles. It ended up being fantastic. It was so much fun. Highly recommend checking it out.
That is literally almost the plot for RRR. Like two
kind of
characters that should be enemies that just aren't.
Yep. And they're right there next to each other, 6 and 5. But yeah, Y Como Es Él, so much fun. Highly recommend. I knew Don was going to get a kick out of that one.
Jesus Christ.
It was weird because like I thought about it for a while. Like I even put on Twitter, I was like, like 2-3 days later, I was like, I'm still thinking about that movie. Oh my God, it was so good. Don's like, stupid. Stop talking about it.
I'm going to say too, so far right now, Frigginz, I appreciate your list because there's no like peanut butter falcons or anything on here. Like this looks like a Frigginz list.
This is his peanut butter falcon.
I was gonna say, what's wrong with Peanut Butter Falcon? It's a fantastic film.
I still haven't seen it. I have no idea.
I watch it like every year since it came out. It's like 3 years. Anyway, that will take me to my number 4, which I did kind of talk about a little bit already, and that was Avatar: The Way of Water. Did break the top 5. Fantastic film, all kinds of emotions, all that experience that Peeps talked about.
Your other bullshit wasn't higher than this.
Como Es Él was like that close, but like yeah. My number 3, Peeps, you talked about a little bit in your honorable mentions, actually, was Nope.
Oh wow.
I enjoyed the shit
number 3
out of that movie. Hell yes, I saw it twice.
Nope.
I don't like
go on
horror that much. But there's something about Peele that just like totally captures me. Like he is fantastic. The cast on this thing was phenomenal. I really enjoyed the story. I got to tell you, I haven't been that freaked out in a flick like during that scene with the monkey and stuff. I
still think about that scene too with when they're inside the house.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I still think about that scene, and like that I felt very uncomfortable after that scene as
Oh,
well. So, yeah.
absolutely. And the barn, like, oh, how do you go from like totally terrified to like laughing like so fast? Like it was,
Yeah.
and I love how they like how Peel does such a great job about like getting cool character moments, having super sad things, the opening with the dad and everything, like the then having like cool action. He even threw in an Akira motorcycle slide. So like, I mean, he just had so many good things.
And I always forget about how British Daniel Kaluuya actually is until I hear him speak for real. I'm like, oh snap!
Yeah, he does a good job. The amount of people saying "nope" was perfect.
Perfect.
Nope.
It was perfect at the right season. Nope.
Nope.
That's Don
I
right now.
can't get
Nope.
enough of it, man. I can't
Yeah,
get enough
like
of
nope
it.
at number 3. Nope. Nope.
Get out of here.
Nope. Nope.
That's definitely my number
No,
3.
I feel that, and it's very interesting. Like you said, like you're not into horror, but the fact that it made like your top 3, like wow,
Yeah.
you're
Because it wasn't scary.
Exactly.
That's why
I love that.
I think it makes it.
Well, except for
Because this is the weakest of the Jordan Peele trilogy by far.
I 100% disagree. The
No, you're 100% wrong.
the monkey
2.
scene was terrifying, but anyway,
the other 2 are way better.
and that leads me to my number 2, which is actually going to be the exact same thing that Peeps had for his number 2, and that's the Batman. So you know, I did appreciate the lack of swear to me, but I give me some good.
Where'd you get that name?
So give me some good dark detective problem solving. The Riddler as this kind of serial killer sociopath was freaking perfect. Talk about scene stealers. Every time Colin Farrell as the Penguin was on that thing, you couldn't help but be laughing. Like he was wild in the best ways. Zoe Kravitz is just perfection as Selena. Like I want more of her. Like give us just a Selena flick. I will watch the hell out of that. She was amazing. And Pattinson does not get enough love for his performance. You know, I'm 100% with you, Peeps, in that he was excellent. I think he shows so much development from, you know, the hardcore, dedicated, you know, unwavering presence that he was in the beginning to the learning of, you know, being, you know, more than that by the end.
And even his like relationship with Alfred, like I wouldn't think that would be something they would throw in there like that hard, but like, dude.
So good. And you know, give me a nice camera twist, upside down, slow walk out of the flames. I appreciate the cinematography and the score.
He had his little theme though, like for real.
That
was
theme
good.
song was dope. I absolutely love that flick. It's
dun, 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 dun.
and the metal with the boots. So cool.
Black Adam didn't even get a theme song. He should have had a theme song.
He had a theme song there.
Just talking about it makes me want to go rush off and go watch the Batman again. So that's my 10 through 2.
Sweet.
Woo. Wowsy. Okay. You had some big movies missing there, Fred. Gonna say.
Yeah, where's your Sonic 2, bro?
That I know, and he didn't even mention him in his honorable mentions. That's how whack this is. Yeah. So, all right. So top 10, and yes, we got a lot of some repeats here. So that both of you guys have talked about, and that's where I'll start at number 10 is The Gray Man.
Nice.
So The Gray Man comes in number 10 for me. Again, I totally agree with what you guys have said. The action's incredible, the casting's incredible. You got Ana de Armas, you got Chris Evans, you got Ryan Gosling. I mean, just this, you know, kind of more this generation James Bond kind of, you know, film. And it was just, you know, directed by the Russo brothers, and just it had all the right ingredients. And this was a Netflix original, but like you guys said earlier, the three of us got to watch it in the theater like a week before it hit Netflix, and I think it just made the world out of it. It truly did, because we got to see it on the big screen, and they made that action pop so much more than it'd be watching at home. And it just made it stand out to where when you look back at the year, this is why it's on all of our top 10s. Like I said, I really don't know if it would had that retention if we would have just watched it at home. So it's how I felt last year with Army of the Dead, You know, I had Army of the Dead really high on my list with Batista, and same thing. That was a Netflix movie that I saw in the theater and just loved it. And I did rewatch it on Netflix, but it wasn't nearly as awesome as it was seeing on the big screen, you know, being a Zack Snyder film and so big bang boom, you know. So it does make a difference, man. Theatrical experience is super, super important.
And it's crazy because if you think about it, like it's basically John Wick, but like in the day. Like John Wick is like always like he's always doing stuff at night or in some kind of dark room.
And some neon.
But this is just like
all the assassins sleep during the day.
Right? This is just the middle of the day, just killing everybody.
Yeah.
Coming in number 9 for me, another one that was on your guys' list is Bullet Train. So Bullet Train comes in right at 9. I struggled between this and Gray Man. They were very like I could flip flop pretty easily.
They're right there next to mine too. Yeah,
they're right there. Yeah, I think I put Bullet Train at 9 because it was funnier, and I think like from a replay value standpoint, like this one kind of lives up a little bit more because of the comedy aspect that's in it. Because you have the great action, but you also have awesome comedy, you know, and it's directed by David Leitch, and it just really had all the right tools going for it. So Bullet Train super stands out to me when I look back on the year. So definitely a nice standout.
Did
from
we
the
ever find out
genre.
Ladybug's name, or was he literally Ladybug the whole time?
I don't remember. I think it's just Ladybug.
Brad Pitt.
I think it was just Ladybug.
Yeah,
but he was supposed to be Ryan Reynolds.
Right. He's a dick.
That's funny.
Yeah. Coming in number 8 for me is one that was on Friggin's list as well, and that's The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent. So this comes in number 8 for me. This movie, when it came out, when did this movie come out? April? When it originally hit, it was earlier in the year, and I remember watching it and being like, I have a feeling this movie's going to be in my top 10 come the end of the year. Like, because it was so funny. It was so irreverent. Like, it just, Nicolas Cage playing Nicolas Cage, and then Pedro Pascal was just so great as like this number one fan that just really just wanted to hang out with him, and then you have like the overall story kind of going on top of it. And I like that the twist took us somewhere different than the way it was seeming like it was going to be when you're watching the movie. So I appreciated that as well. And yeah, this movie I don't think gets enough credit. It's a hilarious movie and really lives up to multiple views. It's a fun story, and it's super, super funny. So The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent comes in number 8 for me. Number 7 is your guys' number 2. It's The Batman. So Batman comes in at number 7 for me. And the main reason, because like again, when I look back on my top 10 list, for me, it always comes down to replay value. It's that enjoyment factor. Can I sit down? Can I rewatch this? Do I want to go through this journey again? And Batman's incredible, but Batman's also 3 hours of very dry, slow burn. And it's just it's a hard rewatch. Like it really is. Like as much as I love the movie, it's not a fun watch. Like it just takes so long to get from point A to Z. And that's why it pulls down for me when I rank it out in the top 10 list. This is a 5-star movie. I absolutely love it. But looking back on the other movies that are higher than it, they're movies that I can palate better, and I can just be like, hey, I want to throw this on and kind of get through. Whereas Batman, I've struggled. I want to rewatch it, and even in the last couple of months, I'm just like, God, do I really want to sit here for 3 hours again? Like I'm just kind of like, and then I'm like, now I'm going to watch something else instead. So great movie, great kickoff to this new kind of franchise. I still jury's out for me on Robert Pattinson. Like he was a better Batman than I thought, but I still hate his Bruce Wayne, and I'm hoping that we'll get something better in the sequel. Coming in at number 6 for me, and this is I'm going to be the only one I know to have this on my list, so this is where we get to bring in some fresh blood, and it's Como Esta. Like, no, I'm sorry for
I was like, what?
Nice.
It is Black Adam. Black Adam is coming in at number 6 for me.
That's fair. That's fair.
Absolutely love this movie. Again, it's about that replay value. This movie's just nonstop action, fun moments. Love The Rock, and it's got a really great replay value for me. So it had a blast with it. It's unfortunate that obviously now we all know it's not going to go anywhere. We're not going to see anything else really in this world, especially with my boy Henry Cavill. But this still a fun ass movie, and I had a blast with it. Saw it 2 times in the theater. So yeah, so that comes in number 6 for me. Coming in at number 5, another one that has not been mentioned by either of you. I have a feeling Fred might be bringing it up here shortly, though.
Oh, I know it.
Top Gun Maverick, baby. Coming in over here. Have you not seen this, Peeps?
I did.
He did.
Oh, you did? Wow. It didn't even make honorable mention? Dang.
Dang.
Wow. Okay. Interesting.
I was
One of the
waiting
biggest
for
movies of the year.
I was waiting for
Doesn't even
Frigginz
talk-
so I can talk about that. I mean, we all talked about this. I think we all did our little,
we did a spoiler review. Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
and yeah, man, I get it. I get it. I'm good. I don't think I'll ever need to watch this movie again. It had good airplane scenes. Everything else outside of when they weren't in the airplane, I'm like, could you shut up and get in the airplane, please? Stop talking.
Wow.
I don't care about your girlfriend. I don't care about your abs on the beach. Like, I don't care about any of this. And yeah, thanks for making a cameo there with your, email conversation, in person. But like, I don't know. I'm
no
good.
Heart. You have no heart.
I know. I'm such a horrible person.
Because man, we were all crying at that scene, and Sean's like, "Oh, thanks for Beep Boop Bopping." And
Yeah.
I was like, "Damn, this guy's got no voice."
Like, they just had like Morgan Freeman voice over for him or something.
Oh, come on.
Oh no,
I'm just kidding.
But yes, Top Gun Maverick, a very big, pleasant surprise, a sequel that came 38 years after the original, and somehow surpassed it, and just was a blast to see. I think I saw it 3 times in the theater. Just so much fun, the aerial action, just everything's the realism. Again, we talk about, you guys were talking earlier about the realism and non-CGI, and just the fact that these guys were in these planes and doing these things again.
That is dope.
It's so cool. So second biggest movie of the year financially, and a big massive surprise throughout the year. If you haven't seen it yet, it's now streaming on Paramount Plus, so check it out.
It kind of messed it up for me when somebody compared it to Star Wars, and like, it's just the run that they did.
Oh yeah, yeah,
totally Star Wars.
That messed it up.
It's the Death Star run.
It's literally the same one.
Yeah. Coming in number 4 for me is Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness. So I know Peeps had this one on there. We talked a little bit about earlier. Sam Raimi coming in to direct a Marvel movie, an MCU movie, first time since he did Spider-Man, and so been many years. But he brought his horror element to it, which made this movie so unique and stand out in a different way. Obviously making Wanda the villain, and just the things they did with it, seeing the Illuminati, and just this was just a fun ride, man. Like I saw this also like 3 times in the theater, even in 3D, and it just a phenomenal film, man, that just really stood out.
Dude, that last scene still gives me chills, when with the four, oh my gosh, like still gives me chills.
I think I need to rewatch it because like I feel like if I had rewatched it, I might have jumped up on the list a little bit or something, because I don't know. I've just been in a weird place with Marvel lately, and it deserves a rewatch for sure, because that when she goes crazy on everybody, that was just so much fun to watch, and the Illuminati was so needed. I needed specifically one of the characters on there. I needed that.
Yeah, and then, like, just when she took over the other version of herself, and all those like creepy things that were happening in the house with the pictures and the shadows, and
yeah, it stands out. It's such a unique MCU film, and that's why I think why it kind of stands out there. And then coming in number 3 for me, sticking with Marvel, is Thor: Love and Thunder. And it kind of goes back to like Peeps was saying, like, again, like you knew what you're kind of getting into, right? Like, you understand now the Taika Waititi-ism of it all, right? And especially when you're a fan of Ragnarok, and it's like, and I know this movie takes the humor that Ragnarok did and kind of pushes it even another several steps further. To some people's dislike, and then to other people's like for me, my favorite genre is comedy. My second favorite is action. So you could see why this movie does what it does for me, because I'm getting badass action, and I'm also laughing my ass off the entire time. I love humor. I love slapsticky humor. I love over the top humor. So for me, him, having Stormbreaker be jealous of Mjolnir, like, and talking to these inanimate objects, like, it works, man.
You are not going to the orgy.
Yeah, exactly. Like, and it just holds up, man. Like there's so many big moments in this movie. Plus, you do have a really big, solid story here about a relationship and with Jane having cancer and overcoming that, like having lost the love that you once had and then regaining it only to lose it again because of the cancer. You know, like this is a big story about loss. You have the villain with loss, you have the hero with loss. So on top of all the humor, you do have an amazing story there. And I don't think it gets enough credit that it deserves because of all the humor. It kind of like takes away from the bigger story. But I think over different watches, like you retain and gain a lot from this movie. Plus, um, like Peeps was saying, when you have like your kids and you have emotions from your children relating to movies, it makes things stand with you more. And this is my daughter's favorite MCU movie, and she asked me last night, can we watch Love and Thunder? Like she always wants to watch this movie, and like she was Jane for Halloween, and like so I hold a different place for this film because of her and her love for it, because it is something we can watch together and get some laughs out of, and it just makes it stand up. So that's why, like, you know, it's so high on my list because it's just a fun rewatch of a film. So
I think you also are leaving out the detail of the black and white scene that you absolutely love.
Hey, I actually didn't mind it because you know what? It had color tinges throughout it. That's all I need is give me some color.
And you talk a lot about loss in this movie, but then like at the very end, like, you know, he gains something as well. So it's not just like a tragic story. You know, it has, for me, like that like I love the ending of this movie. Like probably one of the best endings to any Marvel film out there. Like that last little 5 minutes is just shooting laser beams at him. Like as goofy as it is, like it's kind of cool to see that this goofy character now has this new level of responsibility that, you know, who knows where he's going to take it, but like it's just really fun. And I don't know, I really liked it.
It is.
Jane Foster
and this movie, go ahead.
I was just gonna say Jane Foster is like one of my favorite characters, especially being so new, really, in the last decade or whatnot. And I was very excited to see her on screen. So it was very cool to be able to finally get to see this iteration that I've been asking for forever. While it's not my favorite MCU movie, and I was relatively disappointed, I could still have so much joy in being able to see a character that I absolutely love get thrown in on the big screen and be really cool. So I do have to give it props for that.
He stopped 2 like space cars with doing splits, man.
Yes,
like,
he Jean-Claude Van Damme that shit. Yeah. And this movie brought Guns N' Roses into my daughter's life, and I am forever grateful for this movie.
There you go.
To give my daughter some GNR, man. The amount of times I heard "Sweet Child of Mine" this year, you'll never understand. Coming in number 2, another movie that I have not heard anyone mention here tonight, maybe Peeps will be bringing it up next, is Black Panther: Wakanda Forever. So this is my number 2. I struggled with this one. As you can see, the 3 Marvel movies this year were kind of back to back.
Yeah,
I had Thor at like the highest mark, and then I shuffled Strange, but when I sat and I really thought about these 3 movies, obviously Wakanda Forever is the most solid film of the 3 of them. And again, thinking of the journey it took us on, right? Like, yes, this is the harder movie to watch.
Yeah.
It's not as fun as the other 2, but it is an emotional roller coaster that makes us cry and makes us laugh. It gives us excitement. It gave us Namor. It gave us, you know, Shuri stepping up and Ironheart and all these different things that came along with it that really kind of made it. When I didn't think this, like when I was last weekend, we were at like dinner and I was talking to my wife about like, hey, what was the movies you liked this year? And we were talking about the Marvel movies, and in that discussion, this movie was not as high. And it wasn't until I started to put kind of pen to paper and I started to think through these movies that I was like shocked to be like, wow, this is actually number 2 on my list. Like I didn't think it would beat Thor or Doctor Strange, but looking at the journey that it took us on, and I started to think about my emotions of Shuri at the campfire at the end and getting able to say goodbye to you know, Black Panther and
Again,
that damn Rihanna song and just
Rihanna song,
like,
man.
I'm just like, I'm like, lift me up. I'm like, okay, number 2, it's got to be.
I mean, it definitely gave me something I never thought I would ever say, and I said this in our spoiler review, but I never thought I would think Namor was cool. You know,
ever.
He's been a character I've not liked in the comics since I can remember, and they made him amazing. So that is a win. And I think for me, it didn't hit my list mostly because, you know, of the sadder tones for it. I wasn't ready for all that emotion coming into this. Like I knew it was gonna be sad, but I wasn't ready for that. And yeah, I don't know. There's just it was maybe too soon. But yeah, it's still fantastic film. And again, we got a really cool Neymar.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah. So that's my number 2, man. Black Panther Wakanda Forever. So we've hit that number 1 spot as we go around the horn here and wrap up our top 10. So circling back to Peeps. He's laughing,
comes.
but what's he got at number 1?
So just so you guys know, here at the People's Forum, like, you know, we have a large team working to give us this content that I provide. I was just informed that there was a mistype from one of my producers, and actually my number 2 was supposed to be Wakanda Forever. So yeah, so Dragon Ball Super was just an honorable mention. So yeah, number 2 was Wakanda Forever. So I apologize about that. We will reprimand you know, our producer for this, but yeah, I 100% agree. I don't know how this was forgotten. But yeah, I just
it's been a long year. It was a long year.
It was long. So many movies, right? Yeah. So yes.
You gotta have it on my list to rejig your memory.
Yeah, really.
Fucking hell. All right.
Well, now our number 2s don't match. Dang it.
I think we all got the same number 1. We'll see.
No.
But
nope.
We don't? Okay.
Nope.
That's true. No one has mentioned Black Phone yet. So
that's okay. I had a fun time.
It was not.
I thought it was great.
All right. My number 1 is a movie that I and I'm going to do my same thing. I'm going to keep it dramatic.
Talk about the movie first.
I have wanted to talk about this movie for so long, and I haven't because I feel like I want to watch it some more to get more notes on what I want to talk about. And every time I watch this movie, I get the laughs, I get the cries, I get all the emotions in between, and then I want to watch it again. I have seen this movie 6 times, and I can't get enough of it. A movie I that was on my anticipated from last year. I told y'all, but it's like my number 10. And
Mitchell's and the Machines was last year, Peeps. You can't always bring this one up every single year.
It was my anticipated.
You got to move on, dude.
It was my anticipated for 2022. But no, this movie blew me away, and I can't get enough of it, and that's Everything Everywhere All at Once. Like from the silly characters to a robot suit made out of like fax machines, and to like a chick beating people up with a dildo and transforming like them into maraca dancers like mid fight scene. Like, what is happening? What is going on? And I hear people talk about like this movie could be dissected and you know, it's going to be considered one of the greatest films of all time because of like how existential for me, it's fun, it makes sense. The characters, as they shift between themselves, the actors, I mean, as they shift between the characters, like they just do something like and then put on some glasses and like, oh, they're a different character now. You're like, it's amazing. The fights, the choreography, the dudes fighting over who's going to stick an award up their ass just to give themselves more powers. It's like, it's so insane. Why is any of this working for me? Like, but it is. Like, smile on my face, there's these 2 rocks talking to each other, and it's just text, and I'm like hearing them talk and giggling as they're saying like, I'm just kidding. You know, it was like, I like this movie a lot, and I hope they don't make any more. I mean, whatever if they want to, they can, but I hope it is just what it is. It was so freaking incredible. These directors, anything they're going to make from now on, I'm going to be like right behind. Michelle Yeoh, like, you know, like she's been in so much. She was a Bond girl, for Christ's sake, and like for her just to be this incredible in a movie, it's not shocking to me. DX will clown my Crouching Tiger, Hidden Dragon excitement, but like I love her. I've loved her since I was, you know, into those martial arts movies back in the you know, 90s and early 2000s. So I can go on and on. It might not be on your guys' list, just in case it's not. I cannot stress enough, if you haven't seen this movie, watch it and just get ready for a great time. It still hits me. I still freaking get emotional with the family attachments that this movie is about. Like, again, I'll leave it alone. Sorry. Let me just take a breath.
I really enjoyed it too. I thought it was. I could see why this is high up on your list. Personally, I just like the weirdness kind of throws me off a little bit. But also, like, that's also what makes it appealing, is that, you know, it throws at so many different things at you. The performances were great. I think Michelle Yeoh won a Globe for her performance as well.
Female actress.
So I mean, just absolutely deserved. She was top notch, as well as Ki Hugh Kwan. Again, same thing, well deserved. Everybody did amazing in this role, but I think, unlike Hugh, where you like really appreciated the wildness of the story, for me it was the opposite. Like, that pulled me back a little bit. But when I say pulling back, I mean like a little bit. It still was a really, really good flick.
All right. RRR. Okay.
Yeah, the weirdness for me was too much. I saw this in the theater, and I remember, number one, looking at my watch a lot, because I was like, this is fucking too much, man. I got to get out of here. and then on top of that, like, it was just too over the top. Like, there was a lot of cool scenes in it that I could appreciate, and I liked a lot of the emotional stuff. Like, there's some really cool stuff in there, but there's so much fucking weird ass shit in there too, that, like Fred said, it pulls you out to where you're just like, what the fuck am I watching? Like, it's so odd. So at the end of the day, I still look back on that movie like, what the fuck did I watch? So I just it wasn't anywhere near my top 10, but
wow,
I understand the excitement around it, and you know, why it stands out for a lot of people.
You know, I wish I would have watched it with you, Peeps, because like
I don't know if you would have wanted to, because this one I was so animated in.
I think I needed that. Like, I don't know if like you've ever had the experience where you watch with someone and it's kind of like, like the vibe is negative and it makes you feel like more negative about a film, or conversely, if you watch it with someone who's more into it, and it kind of
same effect, like you kind of feed off the energy.
So I feel like if I had seen it like with somebody who was like really losing their mind over it, I think that might have helped. Whereas I, you know, was watching with people that were like looking at the watch like Dawn
I get that, like, because like even when I still watch like Infinity War to this day, and then there's that scene where the buses or the trains going by, and then Cap is standing there, like it just doesn't hit the way it did in the theater when everyone started screaming at that moment. So I know, like I said, I can go on, and I 100% will release an episode where I talk about every bip and boop that I love about this movie. Hopefully it won't be as long as the movie, and DX is like, dang, is he done yet?
I can imagine how long that episode will be.
So
I'm like, you could talk 50 minutes about Megan. I can just imagine how much you can do everywhere.
47, you know, it was Mithrigan,
Mithrigan.
And
I haven't seen it yet, so I can't watch the episode till I watch it, but I'll watch it.
I'll catch up. Put in there. There's a non-spoiler bit.
Oh, that's right. It's
on there.
Man, you've listened to my non-spoiler. Jeez.
I'll listen to this non-spoiler part.
You want to run down your full 10 then, there, Peeps.
All right, so my full 10 that I mentioned before, number 10 was Puss in Boots, Last Wish. Number 9 is Thor, Love and Thunder. Number 8, Avatar, Dose, The Way of Water. The next one will be Fire, I'm sure. Number 7 is The Gray Man. Number 6 is The Bullet Train. Number 5 is The Glass Onion. Number 4, Doctor Strange and the Multiverse of Madness. Number 3 is The Batman. Number 2 is The Wakanda Forever. And number 1 Everything, Everywhere, All at Once.
Nice.
Beautiful movie.
Solid list.
Thank you.
All right, Frigginz, bring us home. What we got?
All right, for me, my number one, you had brought up, Don, in your top, I was gonna say top 10, but 9, I guess, is Top Gun Maverick.
No way.
That music, as soon as that beat hits, bing, like right off the bat, before the text is just coming up.
How's the music go?
I don't do music good.
Danger zone. It's the danger zone.
But it's not even the danger zone yet. It's just that like I picture, I don't know instruments, but to me it's like someone hitting a thing like
oh, the dong. Okay,
yeah.
I got you.
And like but as soon as that hit, I was like, oh my god, I'm there. I'm on the aircraft carrier with them. This is great. Seeing them fly the actual planes takes it to another level. I thought all the like story beats to it, because coming into it's like, why are they making a Top Gun? How is this even gonna matter? They did such a great job.
Who cares about a Top Gun?
Yeah,
the
exactly.
Movie I kind of liked when I was like 6.
Yeah, and I rewatched Top Gun, like trying to get hype for it. And I'm like, that movie wasn't all like that great.
I remember
really.
You said that,
and then this comes out and it blows my mind. I mean, it had everything. It had comedy, it had action. It made, it gave me emotional feelings. I liked the addition of the romantic aspects to it. Again, you talked about the practical effects and, having them fly actual jets made me feel like I was in the cockpit with them. It just changed it. It made it look so much better, made it feel so much more real. I saw this one 3 times in theater. I actually wanted to try and catch it a 4th and missed out. The first 2 times I saw in the XD theater, but the 3rd time I went to, what is it, Don, at AMC, the Prime? Is that what it's called?
Prime? Yeah.
Or like, that one was even better because like the seats were shaking. So I really felt like I was in the cockpit. Oh, it was so much fun. I can't get enough of it. I've watched it on, Paramount Plus already. It's just every time I watch it, I have like a big smile on my face. I just really, really get so much enjoyment out of it. And, you were talking about even the stupid beach scene. Like now when I hear that song from One Republic, I'm just like, we call it the rooster.
He's I don't even know. Worry about it right
now. And that's the rooster dance. So like, let's do it. A neat little
fun fact I learned about this movie too is that they're flying those planes for real, but they had to actually get direction from the head camera director so that they fly in a perfect angle so that the sun isn't blocking out the camera that is in. So like that's just nuts to me to have to fly in a specific angle so that you get the best shot on yourself. I don't know. It's nuts.
So much complexity with that. And I just keep waiting for the news that Tom Cruise, how is he going to kill himself doing some crazy stunt someday, and it's just amazing that he does all the things that he does and that he's carrying it over for the other actors in the film, because it wasn't just him. Like every other actor in the film was amazing in each of their roles, from, Miles as playing the rooster character to Glenn playing the hangman, like, kind of the new Iceman for the flick. It was really, really fun. I just the opening scene where he's taking off in that test jet and pushing it to the next level. I love when he like crashes and they're like, where am I? And the little kid's like, Earth. So funny. But it brings me so much joy. And unlike what Pete said, it also brings me sadness, because like I really appreciated Val Kilmer being there. I love Val Kilmer, like seeing him back from Top Gun. Doc Holliday, he will forever be Doc Holliday in my heart. So seeing, like, I just hear what I just thought I heard. All right, we'll touch on that later. But yeah, so like, it covered the gamut of all the different emotional experiences for me, and that movie was far better than it ever deserved to be.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
All right, run down the full list there, Fred.
Next is gonna be a Legend remake, you know, the
oh yeah, that is gonna be cool too. He's gonna actually fight a demon. So my top 10, it will be The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, The Fablemans, The Gray Man, Prey, RRR. Oh, I wasn't doing numbers. RRR would be number 6.
Jesus, fucking
Number
repeat.
5. It's like the first time I know. Number 5 is Y Como SL. Number 4 is Avatar: The Way of Water. Number 3, it's really funny. You should watch it.
Y como es?
Number 3 is Nope. Number 2 is The Batman, and number 1 is Top Gun Maverick.
I still have not heard anybody talk about that movie but you, Fred. All the news sites, all the things I watch, you're the only one that's ever brought that
watch
movie
it. And I saw
funny.
it in theater. It wasn't you
were alone, weren't you?
Nope. There was like
you were
5
all
other
by
people.
yourself.
There's like 5 other people there.
Hey,
Those old
it's
people
got
that
some
just
pretty
showed up and we're like, what starts right now in the next 10 minutes?
Yeah,
we got El Como Está.
It's got some reviews, you know, 60% Rotten Tomatoes, 5.6 on
60%, Fred.
IMDb.
It's great.
I think I will. Frigginz recommends it. I'm gonna watch it.
Oh jeez.
You still haven't
all right.
Better Falcon.
Shut up.
Whatever.
This one sounds better. It sounds more up my alley.
All right, Don, bring us home.
Guys, so mine number 1. I noticed one movie missing from my top 10 is Avatar: The Way of Water, baby. Avatar easily. This was where I started my list, right at top, and kind of worked down. Saw this movie 3 times in the theater. Daughter absolutely loves it. It's her favorite movie of the year as well. So again, going back to kind of having those connections and sharing it. Want to go again. I'm hoping I want to see it in the damn 4DX, like the actual like movement chairs with the smoke and the steam and the water and all that shit. I want to.
That's a thing?
Totally want to see this movie.
Oh, yeah.
It is a thing.
Where
the
at?
Park Mall has it.
No way.
Park Mall.
Oh,
yeah. So like I want to go on the ride. This Avatar Way of Water and see it there.
Wow. Is it 3D
I was talking
also?
to my daughter about it. I think so.
I think so.
Wow,
Yeah, I believe
that
so.
is incredible. Wow, I'm gonna check it out.
Yeah, the chairs literally move like a roller coaster, and it like sprays water in your face, and it's got smoke, and it's supposed to be interactive, like you're there.
For Avatar, I heard they just fill it up with water, and you just like kind of
exactly.
You're drowning.
But yeah, I mean, for me, like I said, man, from just the story beats, the story about family, the effects. I mean, I waited 13 years for this movie.
Yeah.
I don't know how anything else could have really overdone it unless this movie absolutely sucked, and it didn't. So I loved it. It was a fun ride, and like I said, this was an easy way to kind of cap off that countdown. So going back through mine, number 10 is The Gray Man, number 9 is Bullet Train, number 8 is The Unbearable Weight of Massive Talent, number 7 is The Batman, number 6 Black Adam, number 5 Top Gun Maverick, number 4 Doctor Strange in the Multiverse of Madness, number 3 Thor Love and Thunder, number 2 Black Panther Wakanda Forever, and number 1 Avatar The Way of Water. So there's our top 10 guys of 2022. And then, as you know, what we always do is we transition. It is now January of 2023, and we have a whole new year ahead of us. We have a whole new slate. We will not take the same amount of time to do what we just did on 2023. Obviously, we only are expecting these films. We don't have a super, we can't go back and talk about them, obviously, because they haven't come out yet. But they're movies that we are definitely looking forward to. And as always, just like we did with the 2022 list, I'd like to start with most anticipated honorable mentions for that. So movies that didn't quite hit the top 10, but they're also movies that you're looking really, really forward to. And so let's start there. So Peeps, what do you have from an honorable mention standpoint for 2023?
Honorable mentions, I'm gonna go with Renfeld. I haven't. It looks fun.
It's great.
So that one again has to do with family, specifically my son. This is his number 1 most anticipated movie, and that's the Super Mario movie. Nice. I can't wait to take them to go see it. It looks fun. So kind of hoping to get that Sonic kind of surprise from it. I just found out there's a Trolls movie, so that's going to be for my daughter. But man, like yeah. Honorable mentions. I'm sure you guys will bring up some pretty good ones, but all the DC movies except for potentially one of them. Yeah, I am looking forward to watching them, but like not even quite top 10 material. And
Wow.
yeah, that's all I'll do with that one.
All right, Frigginz, what you got for honorable mentions?
I also had Super Mario Bros. I think that is something I'm excited for, but not as excited to include it in the top 10. Oppenheimer looks
Yeah.
very interesting to me. You know, it's
Mm-hmm.
right up my alley of, filmmaking stuff. So I'm also, with it being Christopher Nolan, I'm sure it's going to be excellent. I haven't even watched the trailer for Transformers yet, but with how much everyone is hyping it, and all it took was me seeing the gorilla Optimus Prime looking thing, and I was like, I am in, because I loved Beast Wars. I hope it doesn't disappoint. Same with Peeps. All except for one DC property is just kind of in the honorable. I don't really care for some of them anymore. One that's probably gonna suck, but I'm really intrigued, is Craven. I want to see how.
Nope.
No, the only reason I like have this like intriguing desire to watch it is because of Aaron Taylor Johnson.
He's great.
He's an awesome actor. I loved him in Tenet, and like trying to picture that in this Craven role, but like the whole concept sounds terrible. So I don't know. It'll be interesting. But those are a couple of honorable mentions for me. I have a couple more, but I'll let you throw in some, Don.
Nice. All right, so for my honorable mentions, I'm gonna start with, and again in no particular order, I do actually have Craven the Hunter on mine as well too, Frigginz. I'm just more out of curiosity, right? Because I want to see what Aaron Taylor Johnson does with it. I'm hoping it's something cool. I have Cocaine Bear on mine. I think that's gonna be just batshit crazy, and I had to throw it out there. Scream 6, because I love the Scream franchise, so I'm very excited to see what it does now, taking it to New York. So actually going outside of the same town that they've always been in and actually going to the city, I think would be pretty cool.
Interesting.
Expendables 4. We got the Expendables
way.
coming back, baby, and I love me some Expendables. Yes, so Stallone and the crew is back this year, and I can't wait to see what
I'm
happens
putting that on
that.
my list too for the runner
up. There you go. I have Blue Beetle on here because I'm curious to see what they do with that over on the DC side. I have Creed 3 because I love the Creed franchise and very excited to see Michael B. Jordan and Jonathan Majors busted down in this third one. I think it's going to be awesome.
Majors is killing it.
He's amazing.
Really, really looking forward to this one. Knock at the Cabin, the new M. Night Shyamalan film that comes out in February with Batista. This trailer is incredible. Both trailers are just awesome, and it's such a cool concept. My wife just read the book and said it was phenomenal. So, like, very excited to see.
So it's not an M. Night story then? Okay.
He adapted the book. So,
okay.
Very curious to see where it goes.
I'm in.
And my last honorable mention, I know you're both going to probably have this on your list, so I had to throw it out there on an honorable mention for me, and that is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse.
Get the fuck out of here!
Don gets to get the fuck out of here. Yes.
Yeah.
You're
fuck
kicked
them
out
cartoons, son. Fuck them cartoons.
If I could mute you, I would mute you.
Fuck them Fast and Furious movies. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah. No, looking really, really forward to this movie, but you know how I feel about animated stuff.
We do.
That's fair.
You're just like the Oscars.
We'll see how it goes. But I'm very excited. I am very excited about the movie, though. I'm looking forward to it. So I had to throw that out there, more of a ha-ha kind of thing. But all right. So those are honorable mentions. They're out the way. Let's go through it again. We'll go 10 through 2 and kind of talk real briefly.
Yes.
Because we already hit 100 hour and a half here. Kind of quick thoughts about why I hit the list and why you're excited about it. So, Peeps, let's take it away, man. What we got?
All right. So my number 10 is something I know absolutely nothing about, but there's 4 letters in there that got me immediately excited. And you both know me, and anybody else that knows me will understand why. TMNT, Mutant Mayhem. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles. Yeah, it's going to be animated, whatever. So yes, I understand DX, but excited. I'm a huge Ninja Turtles fan. I'm all for it.
I need to see the animation style before I get excited.
That's fair. That is fair.
There you go. There you go.
Sticking with the animated world, it's a studio that never disappoints. We have a little teaser and looks cute, but we'll see what happens. But it's Elemental. I am actually looking forward to that.
I think it's gonna be like a rom-com from that trailer teaser.
It's what kind of seemed like, right? Yeah. And I don't know, man. I like Pixar. So.
Very disappointed in Pixar in this one. But my daughter actually said she has zero interest in it. As soon as that trailer was done, she was like, I don't want to see that. Wow, okay.
She's wrong.
Good, because I don't want to take you. This don't look it don't look good.
That's funny.
My number 8 is what Frigginz said is on his honorable mentions, and that is the Transformers, not Michael Bay. I did see the trailer. I am excited for this one. I've been hurt before. This would be higher on my list because this trailer got me excited, but because of my emotions about the Transformers, it got knocked down. But this literally should be like numbered like 3 probably. But yeah, it is what it is. Number 4 is something I know little about, but I am kind of, again, I've been hurt before by this person, so I'm kind of looking forward to what they're going to do.
You mean number 7?
No, I said number 7. Yeah. What you heard. And that's Rebel Moon. Rebel Moon. So yeah. Zack Snyder doing some interesting stuff with some interesting material that's already being done. But yes, so yeah, looking forward to that. Next, number 6 is on DX's honorable mention is Cocaine Bear. Looks a lot of fun.
Pretty high.
If you haven't seen the trailer, check it out.
It's pretty high.
My number 5 was oh, so good, dude. My number 5 oh, it's gonna be good. I know it. It's like snakes on a plane. Like,
oh god,
there you go.
Cocaine and a bear. That's all you got to worry about.
I had this motherfucking cocaine with this motherfucking bear.
Oh my god,
dude, let's get a crossover. That would be great.
So good.
But my number 5 is a franchise that I absolutely love, and after watching the trailer, even though the director isn't returning for this franchise, watching the trailer, I'm like, I'm in. I am so into Evil Dead Rise. I'm in.
Looks really good. Almost made my honorable mentions.
Haven't seen the trailer yet.
Ooh. Number 4.
The trailer is fantastic, especially a Red Band trailer.
Yes,
it's crazy.
Check it out. Let's get Fred back into horror. Let's do it. I know young teenager Fred likes horror movies. Yeah, it's good. It looks pretty graphic. So
yeah. You won't think about Nope afterwards. Watch fucking Evil Dead Rise.
Watch Nope as a palate cleanser.
It's true, yeah. All right, number 4 is the Marvels. Not really much else I can go on about that. Just a lot of good things. Going for this movie. Fun rumors. I don't care. I just kind of want to watch the movie at this point. So, yes. Number 3. Ant-Man in the Quantum Mania of the Quantum Verse, Ant-Man 3. So coming out very soon. Super stoked about it. Yeah. I guess I should have said Megan as an honorable mention, but I've already seen it, so it doesn't count. But that would have been on my honorable mentions.
Fair.
Okay. Number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. I'm sure we're going to hear a little bit more about that a bit later. But from what I've seen, chef's kiss, and it's going to be an emotional ride. So I can't wait for this one very, very much.
Nice. I actually have several in the same spot as you, Peeps.
So snap!
That's cool.
Kind of cool. Cool.
Can't wait to see where your Elemental is.
I don't have.
Spoiler, that one's not on me.
Anything in the same order as you.
Oh,
I don't know who you are anymore.
So it's my turn.
All right, Frigginz. What you got? Yeah, 10 through 2.
My 9 and 10 should probably be swapped, but I have reasons. So number 10 is Ant-Man and the Quantum Mania stuff. I feel like I'm just kind of like I'm feeling a little burnout, so that's why it's a little bit lower. Yeah. But it does look cool. I'm excited.
One person said that on the internet. Fred said me too, and then it's just been down.
I like
Downhill ever since.
I am excited to see Kang though. So we'll see how that plays out. My number 9, admittedly, is probably going to be a terrible movie. I'm throwing that out there right off the bat, but I just really want to see it because I love me some Dungeons and Dragons. So that's my number 9. You know, it looks like they just tried to they blew their wad and threw like
you had
everything.
that shit higher than Ant-Man.
Yeah, that's what I said. It probably should be flipped, but it's just
makes sense.
You know, that has such a special place in my heart. Number 8, I'm super excited actually for Dune Part 2. I thought the first part was amazing. This is a book I've always wanted to read and keep pushing it off. So now I'm kind of waiting for the movies to come out, so I'll experience the movies and go back and read them. Anyway, Dune Part 2, number 8. Number 7, I saw the trailer for this. That is 65, and it got me so excited. I'm like, this looks fun.
Cool. Yeah.
Dinosaurs and future
almost an honorable mention.
Year. Yeah, super cool. I wouldn't have, you know, I wouldn't have known nothing about it if I hadn't seen the trailer. But after seeing the trailer, it definitely got me super hyped for it.
I feel really bad for this one because like Frigginz and I went to see this, and he's like, "Dude, once you see what it's about, you're gonna love this." And I saw it, I was like, that's kind of dumb. And I felt bad because I was so excited about it.
I was so hyped, and he's just like, man,
no.
That looks good.
My number 6 is the only DC one I have on this list, and that's Shazam! Fury of the Gods.
God damn.
I love Shazam. The first one was great. I had a blast with it. So I'm very excited to see this one. And you know, number 6.
I can't wait to see The Rock pop up as Black Adam in it.
Yeah, right. Number 5 is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. You know, I saw also behind the scenes of Tom doing crazy stunts, and just after I feel like for me, Mission Impossible is kind of going downhill, and like I still liked it.
Oh my god, what?
Hold on, let me finish. it was going downhill until Fallout, and then it like spiked like crazy because Fallout was so good. So now I'm really excited for that. So that's my number 5.
Hold on. So it's what, like part 6, part 1?
Yeah, it's a part 1.
Yeah. All right.
Don't you love when they do that?
It probably would have been higher on the list, but it was a part 1 type thing, so that brought it down a couple notches.
There's a movie on my list that does that too. So that's
yes, there's a yep. Number 4 is Creed 3. I absolutely love Creed. The first one is one of my favorite movies. So good. And this trailer for the third one looks absolutely phenomenal. So very psyched. Number 3, like Peeps said, actually had this on his list. I know absolutely nothing about it except for the title and a generic statement about it. That's Zack Snyder's Rebel Moon, but that statement sounds really cool. And Zack Snyder gets a lot of hate, but like I do enjoy the stuff that he does. So should be fun to see how that turns out. I can't, but you know, I could see a trailer and instantly be like, never mind. But we'll see how it shakes out.
We all know you're not going to watch the trailer, Fred, so it don't matter.
That's fair. Number 2, another film I have not seen trailers for is Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. Just the poster alone is like, oh, they got that Spider-Man and they got that Spider-Man, and I can't wait for Spider-Punk. Anyway, Spider-Man Across the Universe Part 1 is my number 2.
All right. Well, it's Across the Spider-Verse now, and the second one has a different name, so they're not doing the part 1, part 2 thing anymore. So
okay.
That's good.
Oh,
so
they did the Way of Infinity War. Okay.
Yeah, they just named the third one something else instead of part 2.
Gotcha.
Good.
It's like Into the Spider-Verse.
out of the
Spider-Verse.
Yeah. Man, so okay. Interesting, because I have a movie on mine that I thought for sure both of you would have, and neither of you said it, which
I did, and
really
it got
crazy.
bumped. Sorry.
It's in my honorable mention.
It got bumped last minute.
Yeah. All right. It's not this one, but coming in number 10 for me, and I had to put it at number 10 because 10 is in the title, and that's Fast 10, baby.
What?
Fast 10 your seatbelts and get ready.
Shocking.
Because Fast X is hitting theaters in May, and we are ready for the start of the finale.
That would be your number 1 for sure.
I know. 9 was rough though, bro.
Oh. I have not seen it because of Frigginz. Like he has steered me away from 9.
Oh, don't listen to Frigginz.
I saved you.
It's still an adrenaline filled fun ride. So
Okay.
but yeah, Fast
It's a
X
ride.
comes in number 10. This is supposedly part 1 of 2. That is going to be the finale of the mainline franchise. So curious to see what they do with this here. New director stepping in, a lot of new cast. Jason Momoa is the bad guy. Like, I'm excited to see what they do with it. Coming in number 9 is Shazam: Fury of the Gods. So sliding in there, of course, the first Shazam, super fun movie. Love that film. We can put that on anytime and have a good laugh. So very anxious to see where Shazam takes us. Number 8 is Transformers: Rise of the Beast. So this is one that I matched up with Peeps here. Love the Transformers franchise, all of them. Thank you, Mr. Bay. So let's. So I have not been burned. I just get nothing but glorious robots
Bumblebee?
fighting, and
Oh,
Bumblebee's not
Bumblebee
bad.
was great.
Yeah.
oh,
Bumblebee was
couldn't even
awesome.
finish it. Anyway,
What? Everybody loves Bumblebee. That's crazy.
couldn't even finish
Bumblebee's not a
Bumblebee
Michael
tuna?
Bay movie, so don't slide that in.
Yeah.
Bumblebee tuna. So yeah, excited about this one, man. Like Friggin said, when that trailer first started and you get the robot ape jumping down, Optimus Primal, I was like, dude, this is badass. I'm sold. Let's go.
Yeah.
My number 7 is the one that neither of you mentioned, and I'm very disappointed because this is going to be amazing, and that is John Wick Chapter 4. How neither of you have this movie on your lists,
Honorable
especially
mentions.
Friggins? I don't understand. You didn't
I've
mention it.
seen-
Shut up.
I've only seen
didn't. I
half of
forgot to
chapter
mention
3.
it.
I'm like, this is a big one, man. This trailer that came out a couple months ago is fantastic. This thing just looks badass. Donnie Yen in here, man, slicing
Oh, yeah.
bullets
I
as
love
he's getting
Donnie
shot.
Yen.
This is gonna be, dude. I'm one of the force. The force is with me. It looks so good. So John Wick Chapter 4 comes in number 7. Number 6 is Mission Impossible: Dead Reckoning Part 1. This movie looks so insane, and I know it's going to be awesome because every Mission Impossible movie is badass, and it just gets better and better and better each time. Number 5 is Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. So looking forward to this. We haven't seen a trailer or anything for this one yet, but I really like the first Aquaman movie, and I
Me
really
too.
believe in James Wan, and I have a feeling he's going to go real fucking crazy for this one. And I think we're in for a treat. So
I didn't
looking
know he
forward
was
to
returning.
Aquaman.
That's cool.
Yep, he
Yeah.
directed it. Number 4 matches Peeps as well. That is the Marvels. So we got Captain Marvel teaming up with Miss Marvel and Monica Rambeau, and we're gonna have some real good time travel, space jumps, all kinds of crazy shit. Nick Fury back. Everything's gonna be awesome, man. So the
Potentially
Marvels
Blue Marvel.
coming in at
You'll
number
learn.
4.
You'll learn.
Number 3 for me is Ant-Man the Wasp: Quantumania.
Get
Of
out of
course,
my
we just got the
head.
new trailer just earlier this week, and the new trailer is
I wanna watch
fantastic, man. We got some big stakes
gonna watch
coming
it.
here.
Not gonna watch it.
Oh, it looks good. Kang is ready, baby. We're getting ready for a new dynasty. And so yeah, Ant-Man and the Wasp: Quantumania comes out next month, mid-February, as we
Ooh.
kick off phase 5. So very excited about that.
Yeah.
Coming in number 2, got some controversy here, but that would be The Flash. Of
Oh.
course, the Flash movie, which was number 1 and number 2 on last year's list because it got bumped. So carrying it over from the old list to the new one. Still very excited about this, regardless of all the Ezra Miller bullshit. This is still a movie that I've heard nothing but amazing things about. Andy Muschietti, that did the It franchise directing, Michael Keaton back as Batman. We're getting time jumps. We're getting different timelines of the Justice League. Ben Affleck's goodbye as Batman. I mean, all kinds of stuff in this movie. And again, from everything everybody is saying, this movie is like Dark Knight like level fantastic. So I'm super excited for this
Whoa,
film.
Dark Knight. Those are big shoes to
Yeah.
They're big
Come on,
shoes.
man.
That's
Like,
what
you
they're saying.
can't-
That's the wording.
You can't
That's
say
the
that.
wording
All
going
right.
around.
Flash was
This-
number
this
3 on
movie-
my list last year, but I just could. I'm kind of like past. I'm like, okay, just come out already.
Flash was number 10 on my list this year, but it literally got bumped when I heard about Ninja Turtles.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
Yeah,
That's
but,
awesome.
I'm with you, DX. Like, again, outside of the Ezra Miller drama, like so many good potential like characters that we've returns, new characters, a Supergirl, like so many neat things. Like, is this going to spell the future of the DCU? Probably not, because the changes came after the movie was made, but maybe it does work, like with everything else that everything they're doing. So I can feel your energy, and I'm with you on that one.
Yeah.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I think we're gonna be in for a lot of surprises in this movie, and that's what gets me excited about it.
Hopefully he
Our first
fixes
trailer
his
is supposed to
run.
Yeah, seriously.
our first trailer is supposed to come at the Super Bowl, so we're about a
Yeah.
month
Oh,
away
cool.
there from getting that first full trailer. But yeah, I'm excited, man. I think there's gonna be a lot of surprises in here that we have no idea about. But
Danny
yeah, that's
DeVito. I
my
want to
10
see him
through
come back.
2. All right, it's number 1 time, so throwing back over to you, Peeps. I think I can guess, but
Big
tell us what
shocker.
number 1 is.
Yeah.
Big shocker. But this movie, Across the Spider-Verse, Into the Spider-Verse, I absolutely love. I just watched most of it today on my lunch break. Like I want to watch a movie. Let me watch this movie. I love the movie. And I'm really excited for what's to come. I've talked about it on my show. I'm super stoked, and it feels like they bring everything back, and the intensity that Oscar Isaac, it feels like, is going to bring to this with his Spider-Man 2099, just like and he's got his own little theme song. Woo! I don't know, man. It looks I love it. I'm so excited. And like Frigginz said, all the different Spideys. I know Frigginz is going to call out more of them than I can. Like, there's so many Spidey dudes out there.
Many.
I'm gonna be like, yeah, that's Spider-Man. That's Doppelganger. That's all I got. But I don't know, man.
That's a good pool.
I think there's going to be a lot, I think, for everybody in this movie, just like the first one, I feel. So I am looking forward to it. Hopefully it doesn't have its, sequel blues that some movies give us. It's like, it's not as quite as good, like Transformers 2 to Transformers 1. But we're not talking about that right now. So
we're not talking about it.
Across the Spider-Verse. So going from 10 to 1, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Mutant Mayhem, number 10, number 9, Elemental, number 8, Transformers, The Beast Wars of Beasts, number 7, Rebel Moon, Zack Snyder's cool looking flick, number 6, Cocaine Bear. That seems ridiculous.
So ridiculous.
Number 5, Evil Dead Rise. Number 4, The Marvels. Number 3, Ant-Man and the Ant-Woman Wasp Quantumania. There's also Cassie in there. Number 2 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. And number 1, Across the Spider-Verse.
Spider.
All right, Frigginz, what you got?
All right. So my number 1 is Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. No shocker there. I was picked up Peeps after he saw all the amazing Marvel stuff at San Diego Con, and everything he wanted to say and didn't say about this, even like seeing the looks on his face and like how much of a struggle it was for him to like hold back and say what he saw. I could tell that we're going to be in for a special treat. Still haven't watched the teaser that they released. I don't want to watch the teaser that I've seen.
Either one of them, because there's been 2, right? Or is it just the one?
No, there's only the one still.
Just the one. Okay.
Yeah. So yeah. I'm just that one. I'm going to do everything I can to avoid as much as I can, because I already know that I'm going to be so amped for it. But anyway, no shocker here. Guardians of the Galaxy is my favorite Marvel movie. So this number 3 is it's very exciting.
I don't know. You're not really feeling Marvel nowadays. I don't think you really like it as much as
I said. I mean, maybe this will be that revival. This is
it just rekindles everything.
Clear.
Okay,
bring me back.
I like it. Let's do it.
Oh, recount down. Number 10 was Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Number 9 was Dungeons and Dragons. Number 8 is Dune Part 2. Number 7 is 65. Number 6 is Shazam, Fury of the Gods. Number 5 is Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Number 4, Creed 3. Number 3, Rebel Moon. Number 2, Spider-Man Across the Spider-Verse. And number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3.
All right. Well, going into my number 1, I'm going to double down with you there, Fred. Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3 is my number 1, most anticipated as well. Love the little teaser trailer that came out that I've seen multiple times that Fred is trying to dodge. Does not spoil anything, so it's a great trailer. You think everything's a spoiler.
With Frigginz, I could see Frigginz being like, "Oh, I didn't want to know that happened."
I'm sad that I saw their suits. Like, even that, I'm like,
that was just Among Us. Don't worry about it. That wasn't actually part of.
Yeah. No, he's not talking about those suits.
No,
He's
the
talking
blue
about the other one.
suits, the new ones.
Yeah, the blue,
Like the
blue
comic
suit with the red
accurate
trim.
blue suits.
Yeah,
Yeah.
straight.
But yeah, man, I mean, what else can you say about Guardians? I mean, this is the farewell of James Gunn, right? As he moves over to head up DC Studios. This is his wrap up of his trilogy that we've waited a long ass time for. Because remember, we should have got this movie in like 2020. But because of him getting fired and all that, and then COVID and everything, and by the time he was rehired, like now it's a Phase 5 movie, which is many, many years after when we should have got it. But it looks incredible, and they keep telling us this is the last time we're going to see this version of the Guardians together,
And
which leads
Batista
you to
said he's
believe
not
people
doing
are gonna.
Drax anymore.
Batista said he's done, so I have a feeling he's going to die in this movie.
I don't think he is.
Really?
Honestly,
Oh,
before they even made this movie, he announced like, I want to step away from this character because like as I get older, like I'm not going to be upholding the character that I think, you know what I mean? Like I feel like I don't know. I don't think he is.
I don't know. I think he wants a
can't die.
permanent.
He's like way too.
Don't leave that
proof.
door open. I think he really wants closure on it and doesn't even want the door open to return at some point. So I think they're gonna kill him off.
Just get John Cena as Drax. That'll be good.
And yeah, and I think he's gonna definitely head on over to DC. I think that's your new Bane right there when we start moving into the new Batman universe.
It'd be good for
so yeah, and James Gunn is bringing him over. There's no doubt.
Yeah,
him and Batista are close. And but no, I mean, Guardians is always one of the best movies. I mean, because once again, we talked about this with Thor, right? We got the comedy, we got the humor, we got the action, right? We got everything kind of coming together, and that's what I love about the Guardians movies is you get a little bit of everything, and that's why I love James Gunn. That's why I love the Suicide Squad. I love his style, is because it is a lot of that humor, action, and I know he's going to knock it out the park with this movie. So this was kind of the same way when we started making a list like this. I started with Guardians and kind of worked from there because I knew without a doubt this was probably going to be my most anticipated movie of the year. So very, very excited about this one.
I love how he said that like he's always known how the story was going to end. Right. So like I trust that it's not going to feel like forced or anything like, oh, that's an afterthought. What about this thing? Like, I know it's all going to kind of come together like one, beautiful piece of pie, just being complete. So I'm really looking forward to it.
Yeah,
for sure. Yeah, I'm so glad he gets to finish this trilogy out. So going through my top 10 most anticipated, we got number 10, Fast X, number 9, Shazam, Fury of the Gods, number 8, Transformers, Rise of the Beast. The number 7, John Wick Chapter 4. We got number 6, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1. Number 5, Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom. There you go. Number 4, The Marvels.
Really?
Number 3, Ant-Man and the Wasp Quantumania. Number 2, The Flash. And number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy. No, Peeps, that was when you're supposed to do.
Yeah, you gotta get the.
Oh, you gotta
it's the weird run. Remember,
for the people just listening to the MP3 version, you'll never understand.
Yeah, they're like, "What are they talking about?"
I apologize.
Sorry.
And number 1, Guardians of the Galaxy Volume 3. So that is the most anticipated films of 2023. And that, my friends, is your show as we hit that 2-hour mark. So we've done it again.
Yeah. Did it again. I had that too.
So again, so this has been your Am I Still on the Air top 10 movies of 2022, top 10 most anticipated 2023. Did your movie make the list? I hope it did. If not, let us know in the comments and on Twitter and stuff, like, what movie are you looking forward to that maybe didn't make it? Another big one that no one mentioned was Indiana Jones.
I'm surprised y'all didn't bring that one up. Yeah.
I'm looking forward to it, but not
same.
top 10. Same. But I know a lot of people are really looking forward to that one.
Wonka.
It's a good year though. It is a really good year on paper though, man. Very much so. I mean, looking at the honorable mentions, looking at the full list, I mean, there's so much that I'm looking forward to, and there's so much more that we didn't even talk about. There's new Ghostbusters coming out later in the year, which I think will be really, really cool, following up Afterlife. A lot of good horror, a lot of good action. There's a lot of good stuff animated.
Frigginz, you didn't even mention the Gambit movie. Like, surprised that didn't
That's
make it.
true. Well, you know, there's also a whole bunch of things that we don't know about. Like, that's what I'm more excited. There's always something
Right.
that pops up on the list that I
Yeah.
had no clue. Like, y como es el
I have
dos.
no idea. And on that note, we got to get the fuck out of here because this guy.
Thanks, Fred.
So let's go around. Tell the people where they can find you. We'll start with Peeps. Tell the people what's up.
As DX said in the beginning, on the Twitters, number 4 my peoples at Twitter. If you want to throw any let me know how much you agree with me. I'd appreciate that. I also got a podcast on the Red Dragons Radio, the People's Forum. You could also find that on the Twitters. I throw the new episodes on there. Follow it on the Facebooks. There's episodes there, and yeah, it is the thing. I love talking about Marvel stuff, but I'm really trying to get out there and just talk just about all the movies I've seen and tell you about my experience. Recently had an episode about Megan. So if that was a thing that you like, come on, just come relive it with me. I like kind of going through the motions on all of my feelings about a movie. DX says it's too long, but I says it's just right.
That's right.
All right, Frigginz, what you got?
Well, first and foremost, you can communicate with me on either Twitter or Instagram, and that's at Frigginz. That's Frigginz, Frigginz with a Z. Also,
Zed.
With a Z, Frigginz with a Z. Also, I do some TTRPG role-playing games. It's kind of like a Dungeons and Dragons. It is now on YouTube only for the time being. So you could check us out at youtube.com/thefreeforge. And the show that I'm on is called Become Legend. We only have this week, we only have 3 more episodes left. So the third to end will be releasing this coming week, and followed by 2 more. And that's it. And the whole season is done. Catch up on the whole season. Again, that's youtube.com/thefreeforge. And of course, all the wonderful spoiler reviews that DX DONMEGA is kind enough to include me on here on Red Dragons Radio on Am I Still in the Air? So if you want to hear those guys make fun of me and tell me to get the fuck out a lot and say I'm wrong all the time, even though I'm right, come join us on those spoiler reviews.
Yes, definitely check it out. Yes, there's all the Am I Still in the Airs with the 3 of us are available in their own playlist. Go to youtube.com/Am I on the Air and click on the playlist that says Am I Still in the Air, and you can see all the videos and different episodes that we've done together. So a lot of great stuff if you want to go back, and maybe you found a movie months later and you're like, hey, I want to go back and check out and see what the guys thought. So go take a look for that. But yeah, for following the show and all the socials, you see it ticking there at the bottom, but mainly at Am I on the Air on all your favorite podcast platforms, social medias, Twitter, TikTok, Instagram. We're everywhere at simply Am I on the Air. And of course, myself at DX DONMEGA over on Twitter. But yeah, we're available everywhere that you podcasts can be found. So make sure you subscribe and leave a little review and follow along. Of course, the main show airs every Monday night, bringing you the latest and the greatest in entertainment news each week. And then, of course, we have our specials here. So we're still looking, hopefully for the end of the month, we'll be back and we'll hit you with that Phase 4 countdown. Still looking to get that Marvel Phase 4 countdown out there and wrap up that as we get close to Ant-Man and the Wasp, kicking us off here on Phase 5. So lots of good stuff along the way. But again, happy 2023. Thank you for joining us here on, once again, our top 10 movies of 2022 and top 10 most anticipated of 2023. So until next time, y'all. Peace.